me. That was me. I was thinking, all right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for being here. So today I have Lucy here. Lucy, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And how are you too?
I am very fine. Thank you. So Lucy is an educator. So Lucy, in a minute, just tell us a little bit about you, because I see the things that you do. I mean, at least of recent, when you've been talking about your school, and I gotta say, I don't see teachers like bragging about the schools where they work, and that was one of the reasons why I said, okay, you have to join on here on this show, because I had told her about this show quite a while ago, but that really prompted. So tell me, how long have you been working in the school, and what actually prompted you? Um, Tell us a little bit. Tell us the story.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. I
You're
joined.
welcome.
Thank you. I joined the school organization. That was in 2017. Yes, 2017. That's when I joined them. So I'm dancing towards my fifth year. But one of the things that really inspired me was that okay, that 2017. Before then, I had applied to join the school. So on two times they had invited me for an interview, but it was always okay, Miss Lucy, we'll get back to you. You're on standby. So that 2017, early 2017, I remember I joined a program with Entrepreneurial Development Center, that's EDC. So I happened to be the only one who had a very different business plan that in amongst okay, in the batch of about 80 something participants. So my business plan was on childcare services. So after our first canvas defense, I was asked, we don't know where to send you to. I said, okay, but it's a school. They said, okay. So immediately I heard Emerald Field Schools. That's the school where I work now. I just told the man, I said, yeah, you can send me there. And the man said, um, is it close to your house? We are considering proximity. I told him, I said, I'm very okay. You can send me. So on arriving, yes, please. You can't hear me. Hello.
I'm not saying anything. Go on.
I can hear.
I
Okay,
can hear
very
you.
well. Okay.
Okay,
So
I can hear
I
you.
I can hear
okay,
you.
I just got to the school compound that afternoon, yes, because I defended my first canvas business plan, and I was sent to the school. So I got there that afternoon. On just getting to the school gate, I met the securities, and they were like, you can see the administrator, she's busy. And I just stood, I cited her because she had invited me to school twice. So I waved. When I waved, she was like, Lucy, what are you doing here? I said, okay, EDC sent me to you. So this time I'm here. And she said, you see your life. We gave you offer, you didn't want to. So this time you're going to work for free. And I told her, I said, well, I'm not just here for the money. Let's see how it goes. So at the expiration of my 6th week in the school, I had fun, but I discovered the president of the school kept coming. Miss Lucy, how are you? Do you like the school? I said, yes. Do you like what we do? And all. So it was always like that. So, so I was now posted to their crèche. So I got to the crèche. I just got from that very instant, that very day, I was asked, would you like to stay with us after your internship? I said, I don't know, because then I had already gotten a place in Lagos. I wanted to leave town. So at the expiration of the internship, the school administrator kept coming, Miss Lucy, September, you're still working for us for free. So I told her, I said, I'm sorry, my internship is over. I just came over to help you. That was during the what is it called? The summer school, yes. So she said, excuse me. I said, I'm done. I just came to help people. No, you must follow me to my office now. And I posted her for 3 days. The fourth day she came, she held my hand. She said, Miss Lucy, to my office. So we got there. She just called her assistant and told the girl to add me up on their staff platform. So I told her, no, that I'm relocating. She said, you are not leaving the school. You must stay here. So that was just how I joined the organization. And from time to time, even during my internship, I just discovered when I go online, I wasn't seeing much about the school. And I kept telling people about the school, and they were like, where is that? Where is that? So I had started, telling people about the school. Then when I now joined the school, I just love this. I have this passion for photography so much that when I joined the school, I will take just some pictures, put them on my updates, and
Yeah,
people
I
are
saw
like,
those
"Wow,
on Facebook.
yes,
Yeah.
where is this? what type of school? This school, is it in Calabar? I said, yes, it is in Calabar. We've never seen this type of school before. And also, so that was just how it started. Then, like, the 2 pictures I posted
Okay,
before
so
the...
hang on a minute, Lucy. Okay, just hang on. Don't tell us everything at once. Yeah, just dish it out little by little. So
All right.
Nina is back now. Not yet. She's settled because it still looks a bit frozen. I think she's still having network challenges.
She's okay. Okay, I think she's...
No, she's not moving. She's static.
Yeah, she's static.
Yeah, she's static. Okay, so you are this Emerald Fields now. How long have you been there? 3 years or so? 4?
4 years now. 4 years.
4 years. So so how have you moved up the rank? From what to what position have you moved?
Okay, okay, from my internship, I got in there. Okay, there was someone who was actually the crèche supervisor. So I resumed as a crèche supervisor while she now became my assistant. Then from time to time, my administrator would come, Miss Lucy, you just can't stay in the crèche. Please just go around and just see what you can do. And sometimes I'll tell her, I said, Miss B, how much are you going to pay me? She's like, you know these things, you know it very well and all sorts. But one of the things about me was that because I focus on that, the ages of 0 to 3. So I kept telling her, I said, nothing can take me out of the crèche. So what happens is that when they need my help in other classes, Miss Lucy, please, we need you. Even up to the primary section. So sometimes she's like, Miss Lucy, please, can you just do it? So I it's always like
your current role. What is your current role?
I was like an assistant in the crèche.
Right now.
Right now, I'm supervising the entire crèche. The whole crèche, yes.
So good.
Because
awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Wanted to understand the journey.
Okay.
So Nonya is back again. So we're talking to you and she was frozen. And I hope it's not frozen again. Okay, you're here. Hooray! So welcome, Nonya.
Can you hear me?
As the excellent teacher. So welcome. Loud and clear, finally.
Thank you.
So welcome to this. Thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone that is here as well. Thank you for joining us. You can drop your comments and your questions here. So we're talking about staying power. The staying power. How have these ladies managed to stay where they are? And they are they appear to be happy. We'll soon find out if they're truly happy. They appear to be happy where they are. So Lucy has been where she is for 4 years. Nonya has been 10 years. She's crazy, yeah. Nigerian teacher, because I've never, maybe I have. I've had 19 years and all sort of stuff. But those are really like old school teachers, like our mama, the ones big mama with big stomach. I've not really heard like young, hip, YouTuber kind of teacher that is saying something for 10 years. It's all those mamas. So, Nonya, tell us a little bit about you. I don't get it. What has made you stay? Do people still stay? Did they jazz you? Did they pay you too much? They threaten your life? This is your husband or what? Did they give you $1 million? Don't tell us. Maybe they put something in jollof rice, because I don't know, so that I can just put that thing in jollof rice for the people, my own people too, so that they can, can stay. So just tell us, what is this staying power? Tell us how long. How did you? You told me the story before. When I met you, I always thought this one is different to Nigerian teacher. No, wow. So tell us the story.
Okay, this is really funny. Some people have even told me point blank that they have just, can you be in a school for 10 years? Do you understand? Somebody actually did this to me. 10 years, But when I joined, I met a forward-facing director, right? I think that was where my journey started. And from day one, I made up my mind that I was going to be that different teacher from day one, because I went to College of Education as a teenager. So I didn't know I was going to teach, but I knew I was going to speak, right? I knew I was going to talk. I knew I was going to address people, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be teaching or not. So when I got into the College of Education and I had the chance to speak, from teaching practice and all of that, I told myself, it's like, I'm going to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So from day one, I told myself that I was going to be an excellent teacher. Day one, 10 years ago. I told myself I was going to stand out. Because I saw a lot from teaching practice. I saw a lot in public schools. I saw a lot with other teachers. I saw a lot of a lot among teachers in the colleges of education. God, that's the college of education that I attended, and another college of education where some of my friends went. I saw that, and honestly, a lot of things pissed me off. But I told myself that I was going to stand up. So from day one, I decided to become a professional teacher. Right?
Thank
People
you.
didn't
Thank
regard.
you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm just celebrating
I
you.
decided to be a professional teacher because people didn't regard us as professionals, right? From the way they address teachers, from the way they talk to teachers, I thought that that was really not nice. So if you wanted to address me as a parent, I would start the conversation by letting you know that you have to first of all address me as a professional. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, some of my friends are here. Okay, but first of all, letting you know that I'm a professional. So if I set that tone, then people relate me from that. People relate to me from that perspective. So my director also saw that, right? That she's an excellent teacher. They know they mess with this one. This one is distinct. This one is unique. Even there were times when, honestly, I wanted to quit, right, from stress, getting pregnant, having children. But my director stood out, right, because
Oh no, the network should not come and ruin this thing. This
Better
is
not
we
ruin
want to
it.
hear. Okay. All right. So before she comes back, let me come back to
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Lucy.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
have you ever felt like quitting in the in the 4 years? Just like Excellent Chair was saying, have you felt like quitting at all? Just a yes or no answer.
Yes.
Okay. So following that, if you felt like quitting at any point in time, what was the staying power? What made you stay?
Honestly, the children.
The
My
children.
connection with the children. Yes.
So that means that for you, and even for a lot of people, if you don't have that connection with the children, you probably won't have that staying power. Am I correct to say that? Because a lot
Yes,
of
to
people have
certain.
been made to study education. They're studying education, they don't love the job, they have third class or Z class or 100 class, and they tell them that they have to be educators. So they're educators, but they don't love the job. So they don't love the job, they can't even love the children. So tell us about your staying power. And then the environment. There must be so much more than the love of the children that kept you there, because you can still love children in another school. Just like
Anyway,
when you
yeah.
were saying, people were saying they've judged her for being where she is for 10 years.
Mine was apart from, yes, my connection with the children. I think just like she said, Noya said something about going professional, because honestly, my first degree is in marine science. I studied marine science, so I had to get back to school. Got what is it? Okay, one day I walked into church. That, I think I remember that one Sunday I just walked into church. When I walked into church, some children just, Auntie Lucy, they were running towards me, and it was workers' meeting. And my pastor just paused. You know, I was like trying to crawl into the church because I was so shy, the way they were screaming my name. And he paused in that workers' meeting. He said, Lucy, I think there's something about you and children. I think you need to go back to school. So first degree aside, and I had to go back again, started people were like, why didn't you do PGD in education? I said no, that I needed to understand the basics. So I returned back. I'm still in the program. So I now return back just to focus on education, to understand so much about education from the scratch. Because if you do not have an understanding of what you're into, then you're just playing. Then besides that, I've always loved, just like Miss Noye just said, that she loves to talk, but I've never really been the talking type, because sometimes I love to dodge from, the talking. So sometimes you hear me, my school administrator, Miss Lucy, you like staying behind the scene. You like to, to do, is it to prepare the PowerPoint? You like to do everything, nodding your head, but you don't want to talk. You don't want to do anything. And, I keep saying, Miss B, no, talking is not my thing and also. But she comes sometimes, she's like, you just have to do this. There's so much about you. Miss Lucy, come and teach your teachers. Come and tell your teachers what you're doing. That's quite different from others. And sometimes I just tell them, okay, come, let's meet together. So it gets to the point where sometimes maybe someone needs something and they say, go and meet Miss Lucy. The other person will say, why should I meet her? After all, she doesn't have what to use money for. Meanwhile, I'm also looking for the money. I remember sometimes also when they're expecting, you see teachers looking forward to salaries. And I'm like, okay, hold on, they're going to pay us. You have issues with money. You don't have issues. That's why you keep using your money to buy toys. You keep using your money to decorate your class. You keep using your money to do this and that and that. And I'm like, the same power I have, you can also use that same, that same passion, to set up your class, to do, just put it up the same way you want it to be. So it has always been like that. And sometimes you see parents coming to ask you, Miss Lucy, did you actually study education, or what is this all about? I said, well, I don't know. I think it's just part of me. And that has always been, that is the journey, because I wouldn't say it has always been the journey. It's still the journey. I'm still in it. It's a process.
So are you being paid, don't tell us the salary, don't tell us the salary. Are you being paid heck of money, or is it, the reason why I'm asking is because some people believe that until you're paid a whole lot of money or you become a school owner, and I tell people that from your classroom, you can actually, as a teacher, you can make a lot of money. You can make additional income from it. Just that people don't understand how. So what they're just looking for is how they're going to take over the school, or how they're going to go and set up a school, and it's capital intensive. They don't have the training, and then the school will fail. However, there are teachers that are making a whole lot of money from their classroom. So is it the salary? What is the salary? I don't want to know the amount, but what is the salary like? Does it encourage you, discourage you, or how do you feel about the salary? Because we all know that a teacher can never be paid enough for what they do. So what is your relation? Because a lot of people is like, this salary, they just want to kill themselves. They can move for 5,000 naira, they can move for 10,000 naira. So what is it?
Honestly, it's not all about the salary, because if you were to follow the salary, someone like me, I remember when, like I said, the first interview, the second one, the administrator said, Miss Lucy, your pay is too high. Please, we are just, it's a new school. We can't pay you that. Then I got back again. She now said, you see, you're going to work for us for free because you refused our offer and all sorts. It wasn't really all about the salary, because like everybody keeps saying, salary is never enough. But I found myself like, to me, what I saw myself doing was that I was like, okay, these people have given me a platform to express myself, a platform to develop myself, a platform to do a whole lot of things for myself. Because I remember one day a friend told me, you want to run a preschool, don't tell that school you're working, don't tell them all your ideas. You don't have to give out all your ideas. And I said, no. That I think the more I, express myself and bring out everything that is within me, I will be able to. And that was what I did. I brought out my business plan. I go through some of the ideas I had written down, and I was always trying to it's like you're trying to express yourself. You're like, let me see how this thing plays out and all sorts. Then gradually you begin to see that your business plan is just rubbish. It's just rubbish. It's outdated, because there's so many things coming up online. You're seeing new things. You're traveling, and also I remember the last Thursday in 2019 when I traveled. I discovered I was just like, when they said Cross River State, I stood up. I was the only one in the hall. In Cross River, I was
saying here that she spent 10 years where she worked. So she's worth celebrating as well. So Ngozi, well done. Maybe you can just type there and tell us what your own faith power is. You actually deserve accolades as well. Nina said teachers are not paid enough, and she also said, I feel you should be among the highest paid earners, which I believe, and I believe that the narrative is going to change gradually. So let me see. So Naya is not yet back, so it's just the two of us. I've sent her a message to see if she wants to join us back. I have a feeling that it's her network. So we talked about the salary. Now, when you go through challenges at work, there's nobody that doesn't go through challenges at work. How do you manage it that still keeps you? Because some people will go through a challenge and they're out of the organization. Some of them don't even resign. They don't feel the need to resign. I mean, even though I'm doing this staying power thing, it's not like people don't stay at LePorte School. People stay. I mean, I've had a teacher that was here for 7-8 years, and then she moved from here to the UK to do her master's. She's still in the UK. I had another teacher that had stayed for 7 years, but I fired her, and I'm very unapologetic about it. And I use it in examples every time many times that that I speak, because she was very greedy. So, and I trusted her because it's been 7 years. She came about 2 months after we opened the school, and she had been there, and I trusted her even when I travel. You know, I leave the school in her care and all whatnot. So there was this particular holiday I was going to travel, and she was like, "Oh, that she wants to finish a program that she's doing, and she wants to finish at about maybe 1-2 o'clock every day." I didn't even question anything. You know, when you trust somebody, you don't start asking. I just said, "Okay, fine, you can take over." And just you can leave at 1-2 o'clock, whatever the case may be. And we found out eventually that the new students that didn't really know the culture, the new parents and children that didn't understand the culture of the school yet, she took them to the summer camp, and she had somebody around the estate that she knew, and she was doing extra lesson there. They had made call to say these children that are doing extra lesson here, they are no longer coming to school, this particular set of children, because you can't approach the old ones. The old ones already know that we don't even do all those extra lessons. Any child that needs additional support in the school, we do it on the house, because we differentiate and we extend and we make sure that all our children catch up. But these ones are new. So she got them in somebody's house and was extra lesson for them. So when she told me that she was going to finish her course, she never did her course. And I would never have found out, because I trusted her so much. I would never have checked up on her. Nobody would have checked up on her. As a matter of fact, her colleague that was living for the UK, the day that the colleague was doing the send-off party to go to the UK, it turns out that she went to go and do lessons so that she was going to the ATM. We just found out that she was spending so much time. She didn't come back in time. Anyway, when she came back, nobody even still suspected anything. It turns out that she went to go and quickly do lessons and came back again. So you have people that have a bad attitude. Now, how did I find out that she did what she did? I went to the restroom one night, and God wanted me to know. I keep saying that I'm a spirit, and we are all spirits. If God wants you to know something, He will let you know something. And what did God do? She accidentally sent a message that she was going to send to all the people that are coming to the lesson, and then for some funny reason she sent it to me, my WhatsApp, and it had the names of all the children and everything there. And you know, it was just weird, all the names of the children in the school with their last name and all sorts of things. It was just all the details, the amount she was charging, the people who owing and everything just came into my box. And I was like, hey, in fact, I just lay on the floor and I started rolling and thanking God. Mama was what was wrong with me. I was just saying, thank God, bro, because there's no way I would have found out this thing. By the time I called her to ask, she was saying, oh, that the children, those names that for the children that she's doing lesson for in her school, they have the same name as the ones in the school. Same name and last name, all of them in your church. That night, in the middle of the night, around 5 a.m., I just got up. I was so restless. I left my house to go and type the resignation letter to just tell her to go, to pack anything that she has, like, you know, we'll pay you for anything. Just go. Just go. This was after 7 years. This is the most thing that, you know, the story of Esther. And, you know, when everybody talk about Esther, but Esther was not the first queen. Somebody else took her place, Vashti. You know what I'm saying? Esther took Vashti's place. She was not always the first person. So this teacher, in my own opinion, would still have been at Le Poche school till tomorrow, because I never had a problem. I mean, she had attitude problem and stuff like that, but nothing that we couldn't train her to become better. But the staying power, the greed. Teachers believe that, oh, they must be doing extra lessons. They must own a school. However, there are other ways to monetize and make money. But no, it's just to, you know, cut somebody off. Tell us what is that your relationship with your own employer, to the point where you speak nicely about them online and you have a good relationship with them. Okay.
Ms. Noye is back. Can I continue?
Yes, continue.
I'm back.
So I wasn't sure.
Welcome, Ms. Noye, to To me, one of the things that really has kept me, or that is still keeping me, is the fact that, one, I have a boss who is very humble. I have a boss who can walk into school sometimes and see something, and he joins the janitresses to, you know, pick up things, and you're like, Mr. Gerald, what are you doing? Miss Lucy, I'm also a human being, so I need to pick those things. And you're like, no, you don't have to. You know?
Man. So you are the male bosses are better.
Oh, no. Then the president of the school is a man. Then the administrator is a woman. So sometimes you also come. He's standing by the school gate to receive the children. He knows the children by their names, and you're like, okay, there are a lot of things I need to learn from this man. But besides that, I had people that sometimes they come to you, you're down there asking you what happened, your face is not looking bright, what's going on? Okay, I'm having headache, I'm doing this. Do you want to rest? Do you want to go home? Would you like to, take one day off on, and they just allow you to have that freedom. And because of my own, personally, my workload in the crèche, where, the babies that you're just trying to understand their languages, their signs and everything. There was a time, 2019, I had 35 babies in the crèche. 35. Wow. So I earned the name Mother Duck. So sometimes you walk on the hallway, they say Mother Duck, say all of them quack, quack, quack. So you begin to see everybody's laughing and also. So sometimes, yes, when I begin to ask, I'm having headache, I'm stressed out, maybe once in a while, women's issues, you have cramps and all sorts, and you see the babies are still jumping on you and you're tearing and they're like, Mishi crying, Mishi, that's Miss Lucy's crying. And they care for you. And one of the things also that really kept me there also was that there's nothing I ask for that has to do with the crèche, that has to do with the sections of the babies that they won't, oh, Miss Lucy, at your word, we are going to do it at your word. So I was like, okay, what manner of people are this? They don't give you excuses for not doing something. They just want the best out. You bring up an idea that like, okay, we buy the idea, just tell us what to do. What are we going to do? What's the way forward? And also, and they were seeing results. They were seeing results. So sometimes you begin to see my boss say, Miss Lucy is exempted from this. My administrator will now say, nobody should touch Miss Lucy. Miss Lucy needs to rest because the workload is much. I said when we had that 35 babies, I think we were like 10 in the crèche, 10 workers. In the crèche. Because everybody, Mishishi, that's the first name that they knew in the crèche. Lucy turned to Ishi, Ishishi, and all manner of names. So sometimes you run out and others are beginning to take. Even when I traveled to that 2019, I left for India with my dad. We're still communicating. Parents were calling, and I had 3 job offers in India. Wow. So my president said, you must come back to Nigeria. What is that? You just went there for to assist your dad. So you must not, no job offers, no nothing. Lucy, come back home. We have enough job offers here. And I was having my cool because everywhere I go to, I tell people about my school. I begin to advertise the school. I don't care. It wasn't all about the money. I've had parents meet me. Maybe sometimes I'm doing like a little video, I'm snapping pictures. Miss Lucy, come. How much is the school paying you for this? I said, nothing. It's just my salary.
So even the parents won't expect you to be loyal to the place the way you are working. That's another thing. Because it's a problem. It's only a problem amongst teachers. It appears to be a problem even with the parents. They don't want you to be loyal.
You see, I'm like, oh, no. Mr. Gerald is nice. Miss B is nice. Everyone here. So it's about the growth. I'm being paid a salary. No, I think they should be paying you extra fee, extra money based on this and that because you are marketing for the school. I said, no. If I am eating from this place, I think I deserve to, tell people about the school. I deserve to market my school. I deserve to do this. I also owe. To me, I think what I used to tell people, I said, I owe them the allegiance to tell people about the school, to promote the school too. Because sometimes you come, they're printing flyers, let's go on. I told them personally that I'm sorry, I can't be going on the streets to, to be sharing flyers just because of this. I think after a while, we went into e-flyers. So everybody, you post it on your DPs, on your status and all sorts. Then I also have friends who would come, that's my colleagues. They'll now come online. Miss Lucy, I loved what you're posting. And I said, can you just also use your status? I've never viewed your status. I don't know what you put.
Why do you think some people, some teachers, don't like to support the schools where they work? They want to collect the money there, but they don't want to support the school. If the school grows, they should get paid more money. But there's this mentality that, it's the leadership that will eat all the money. They don't. Yes. Because I don't believe that human beings are evil to the point where you will be good. Because if you have love, people cannot really, they can't fight love. If you love somebody and you are loyal and you are good, and then they want to be bad to you, I'm struggling to believe that sort of thing. Because when I read comments online, I'm like, in fact, one of the things that made me really want to do this was, I've always wanted to do it, but what prompted me now more than ever was a comment I saw online when somebody said about this, that teachers are leaving the sector. And so one teacher just wrote there, yes, they should all leave the sector. These wicked witches, these wicked school owners, until the point when they really want to teach the children themselves. Wicked, she was just And I said to myself, because I'm also a neuro-linguistic practitioner, and I also a mind coach, so I know how the mind works to a significant extent. I knew that even though you have left the school, that lady had left the school, she was still a slave to that school and the management. Why do I say that? You are a slave because you have left, but anytime you think about them, it triggers something in you to be exuding negative energy. So anytime that you talk about a school owner, even after you've left the school and you are angry about the experience or any employer, as a matter of fact, and it's still making your blood boil, then you are a slave, an emotional slave to those people. They don't know what you are doing. They don't care what you're doing. They've moved on with their lives. But you, 10 years later, you're still saying, oh, school owners are this, school owners are that, school owners are that. You are a slave. And you need to set yourself free. You've had a bad experience. We all have bad experiences. Move on. So Nina said here, she just says that the salary is insulting. Okay, the salary can be insulting. I've heard of 15,000 naira salary. I've heard of 10,000 naira salary. However, I've also heard about personal development, about growth. I've heard about that because there is no way, as I am now, go to a school and they want to give me 15,000. For what? You as a teacher, think about it. There are house girls that earn 50K. House help that earn 40K, 30K, more than you earning 15K. But you have not connected the dots with your degree. You haven't connected the dots, whether you earned it or whether you cheated to get it. You still haven't connected the dots to the point where you say, why will house girl earn more than me? There must be something I can do to change this my state. Because you can't complain about what you're not prepared to change. If you're not prepared to change something, if you develop yourself to the point where, why would I get Lucy to come to the point and say, okay, will it be 15K salary? I will be afraid. This should be the way that you will develop yourself to the point where you negotiate a salary. You know, some people you say, are we going to even be able to afford to even pay you, even from appearance alone? You know, if people invite me for a speaking engagement, they already be saying, oh, don't get first, please, oh, easy or not. So that sort of thing. They don't even know if my fee is 5,000 or whatever the case may be, but they're already second guessing, already saying, this lady, she might be too expensive for us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Nice.
So let's hope that this time around, Nonya is here to stay with us. What I have to say to that teachers have to develop themselves to the point where people don't offer. Like my daughter's class teacher, I keep using him as an example. He lives in Port Harcourt and he wanted a better life for his family. He has about 3 sons, if I'm right. And he moved from Port Harcourt to Lagos for a job. His family is still in Port Harcourt, but he shuttles. You know what I mean? And then he's planning to move them eventually. But he's doing something about the situation because he loves to teach. He doesn't want to change his career. But he feels as if it's not too profitable or it's not too fulfilling or whatever the case may be in Port Harcourt. So he's doing something about it. So he's working in a school now that is paying him a better salary and X, Y, and Z. So what is my point? My point is personal development goes a long way. The school does not owe you to train you. I am a believer in training people. We go through ongoing personal development and professional development at the Posh School. It's a normal thing. However, if a school is not developing you, are you not loving yourself enough to train yourself? You hate yourself that much that you don't want to read a book. You hate yourself that much you don't want to go for free courses. Even during the COVID-19, there's some teachers that did not even bother learning anything. Zoom, they don't know. Google Classroom, they don't know. They don't learn anything. Not to talk of their editing videos or anything like that. They are just the same way. Begging online. So it's a mindset thing. Because there are things to do. I even put out posts of things that people can do, virtual assistant, graphic design, so many things that you can do. But it's either they hate the school owner, they want to be a school owner and go and open one room school, and all sort of thing, and set themselves up for automatic failure. So you have to package yourself, just like Nina is saying here, and what you do and do what you do very well. So, excellent teacher, welcome back again. I hope you will stay. In fact, it's even more colorful this time around. So, do you want to continue from where you left us off?
Yes, please.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. My village people followed me to this place.
Don't worry.
I'm so
Let us all take deep breaths so we can calm her down. So 3, 2, 1, go in. 3 times. 2.
I'm done.
And the last one.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is so
No. Forget about it. You are here now.
Okay. I was saying that before now, I'd made up my mind that I was going to be an excellent teacher and a professional. I'd made up my mind. And thankfully, I met a forward-facing director. That's another thing. Like I told you, I would have stopped teaching at some point, right? Because life happened. Well, I got pregnant. That's a positive thing. I wanted to quit. I thought it would be stressful for me and all of that. Then she said, having a child is not a problem. It's not a disease. It's not a sickness. What do you want? So, I said stuff like, I'd like to close early. So you want to close early? No problem. And the reason why she said no problem is that from day one, I'd always met targets, right? I've always met targets. She knows that I'm one professional teacher. I've always told her that I'm an excellent teacher. And then she saw that if somebody is meeting targets, why should we let her go because she's pregnant? Do you understand? Why should we let her go because she just had a baby? There were times I had to go for immunization. There were times I had to, go for antenatal. And then she allowed me, and she said she would allow me, and that's being positive in my opinion. So there are people who don't have maybe that luck. I don't know if it's luck. I don't know what it is. But then before you can get it, you have to earn it. For me, I think I earned it. In my opinion, I think I earned it.
You have to earn it. Because when we give you all that flexibility when they're already struggling with your work.
Yes.
In fact, I'm sure that they want to leave some schools, and they'll be like, bye-bye, okay, bye.
Yeah, they'll be like, bye-bye. If you want to leave, bye-bye, carry yourself, they go. Before we're tired of you. Just said, we just want you to be comfortable. If this is your reason, Lucy's gone. And so she said, if this is your reason, then we can do something about your reason. It's a good reason. So let's do something about it. So I thought that if she's being positive and she's a forward-facing person, then I can work with her. So, of course, I've been challenged. I know the question has come up on why I stayed or why I'm still staying. I've been challenged. I've seen all sorts of nonsense in teaching and learning. I've seen all sorts with parents. I've seen all sorts with some teachers who came to the teaching profession because they didn't find any other thing to do, right? It wasn't because they had passion for it or they loved the job. Some came in and then decided to do better on the job. Some came in and then they were grumbling from day one. Like, I don't want to do this job. I can't stand this job. I do not want to stay on this job. So whatever that they needed to do, they didn't do well. So I think that's some of the reasons that we're having. The fact that people naturally didn't want to teach. They just found themselves in teaching. And the fact that some directors or some school owners are very firm. Some people can't stand that. Some people think that being firm is being wicked or being mean. Am I here all by myself? Okay, some people think that being firm is being wicked or being mean or being unkind or being unfriendly. That's their own interpretation of being firm, right? But then I know that there are some school owners who go to the extreme when it comes to teachers, who don't do what they're expected to do, or who are frustrated maybe by the government or by the situation or by what it takes to run a school. You have to power on your generator, running overhead costs, and all of those has to come into play. Some have cantankerous parents, some have a lot to deal with. They have a lot on their plate already as school owners. So if some of them don't know how to even manage this frustration, so sometimes they take it out on some of these teachers. But I always say this: if you have been a positive teacher from day one, no matter how cantankerous your director is, you can still find a balance. That's my own opinion anyway. I've worked at some point before I joined the school where I currently am. I've worked at some point with this director who says that every teacher must kneel to greet her, right? So some people felt that, what is this? Now walk, we can't walk. No be key, we kill. Do you get? So you have to kneel to greet me. Female teachers must not wear must not wear trousers. Female teachers must wear a kind of earrings, right? Female teachers should pack their hair shouldn't fly. And some people couldn't take that. For me, it wasn't an issue, but I didn't go back there because I had to travel at some point. So I didn't return there. I felt that this was just
to the extreme. Don't wear trousers, have your hair packed, and all of those rules. Kneel to greet me, and that. I thought that was honestly too much. But when I came into where I currently am, I met a director with forward facing, and honestly, that has been very good for me. Oh,
okay,
Lucy's
so
not here.
can you hear me, Nonye?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good,
Loud
because
and-
I seem to be static to my phone. My own video is just static. So I'm glad that you can hear me. So you mentioned your director being forward-looking and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to bonuses or those extra things, you know, you talk about when you were pregnant. What else is there that she does? Do you know what I'm saying? She's a flexible person. She's a forward-looking person. What else is there that she does?
Okay, then I think that
helps you pay.
Yes, I think for training, she's one person who wants her teachers to get trained. There's this training we attend quarterly before the COVID or before the pandemic. She ensures that she pays for every teacher to attend, right? So for a whole year, you're covered. And then it means that you have to attend that training. So I think that's something really positive. The bonuses she also gives at the end of the year, right? And that's also very positive for me. So those, for me, that keeps me going. Because I was telling somebody that I'm not sure
about it. We are all here to learn.
Yes, I said some bonuses that she gives at the end of the year. It's more like to say thank you for being with me for this year again. Let's do it again next year. I don't know if you understand. So even if you're not happy as a teacher, even if you're upset by the situation generally as a teacher, she's there to always like help out. Then I think there was a time we were all transitioning into using interactive whiteboard. There was a point, but some people didn't have the right devices. So she was like, okay, I can't afford to get all of you this device, but the school can loan you at 0%, right? And then you can pay for and she gave us like a flexible package of how we could pay back. And for me, I thought that was really nice. That was being kind of her. No one asked for, no one requested, but it was a suggestion, right? Since we were transitioning and she knew that it was going to be challenging for some people. So she just brought that out. But believe me, there were people who still thought that, they want to come out our money on top of this thing. Do you get on top of these things? That's why I said it depends on the teacher actually. For me, to a very large extent, it depends on the teacher. There's some people who still said, they won't collect our money, they don't feed dash us this thing for free and all of that. But I thought that nothing like that should be free. But so I think it just depends really on the teacher as well. Then when it has to do with, can you still hear me? Then when it has to do with salaries are paid as okay, salaries are paid as and when, and I think that's another positive thing that she does. So all of these things for me are really good. Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Paid on time, so it's a good factor. I heard that.
You're breaking. Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't hear what you said last.
Okay, I didn't hear too. So what the last thing I heard was that salaries are paid when they are due.
Yes. So that's another positive thing that she does that I like. Because I hear that some teachers complain about salaries and when they're paid. Some say they are paid on the 37th of the month. 37th of the month. Like, that's really odd for me. That's odd for me. I really haven't experienced that. But if there's going to be an issue, we usually get notified, like, okay, you're going to be delayed, or there's an issue with the bank, or there's XYZ issue, just hold on and then it will come. And it usually comes. So I think for me, that's a positive thing.
But surely there must be teachers there that come and go as well, that you will have seen.
Yes. Oh, sure.
Can you tell me what you think their own challenge could be, since it's an environment where they are treating you well, but some people are still not staying in that environment?
Believe me, I said honestly, it has to do, first of all, do with the teacher. It has to do with you. Some people came into teaching as maybe just as something to do as part-time until they find something else to do. That was how Yes, that was why some people even came into teaching in the very first place. So no matter what you do, sometimes agree with me that teaching can also be stressful.
Of course.
Believe me, some people can't stand the stress, right? They can't stand that fire. They can't go through the change. Change is very difficult. It's also difficult for me. I've had times where I had to cry, like, oh God, how are we going to cope with this? Change is really tough. I've switched at some point, from using interactive whiteboard to using LearnPads and to using all manner of stuff. Then you have to go for training. You have to come sometimes on Saturdays for some kind of training. It was stressful for some people. They didn't understand that. They felt like, why are they stressing us like this? Why are they taking all our time? On Saturday again, we have to come. Sometimes during the holiday, you have to come for training. We have to come and put some things in place. So some people felt that, why do we have to do this? That's their own perception, of stress.
But does it not make you a richer person, a better person, knowing that you can use more tools, you can speak better, you're more confident? Because it's not just empowering you for the classroom, it's empowering you for life.
For you.
That's the challenge. Some people can't even meet targets, and when they don't meet targets, they have complaints. And we didn't meet targets because we had a lot to do. We had a lot on our plates. There are sometimes I say, if you compare what you do to what other teachers do, it's almost the same thing or even lesser, or even if it's more. But you have somebody who is there to cushion the effect, who is there to rub your back to say you can do this. But as time evolves, as technology evolves, as innovation evolves, believe me, a lot would come. Look at the pandemic now. Teachers had to get a tech savvy. Teacher had to multitask. Teacher had to do a lot of things. So you had to do a lot of things. And if you are not strong enough already, how will you cope? At some point, something
pandemic. That pandemic for me, I've always loved tech. So maybe that is an edge. But when this pandemic happened, it forced many people to learn more. And in doing that, I've had other business opportunities as a result of the skills that I've picked up. More. Is it not this pandemic that I started this YouTube when the children went home? My YouTube channel.
That was when my YouTube channel also picked up, right? In fact, that was the period where I got monetized because I had the opportunity of putting out more content, right?
So people are not monetized about what they can do. Everything is they must own school or they must do extra lessons. They don't know that there are actually 106 things, jobs, opportunities in the educational sector that is not teaching, lesson teacher, and it's not owning a school. So Lucy is back with us. Lucy, welcome back. But you are calm. You need those deep breaths. You are calm. You're calm. So what tips do you give? What tips? Because we're going to round up. We have about 8 minutes more. What tips will you give teachers when it comes to staying in power?
Okay. To me, I had really wanted to add something to the emotional slave that you were talking about. Can I?
Go on.
Okay, because when you said that, it just there's a picture of someone who left us and she got to another school. What she kept doing was that, she keeps talking negativity about the school that she left, and she's presently in a new school. She has this habit of calling out our teachers, come and join us. The salary is far higher than what they're paying you there. That's the offers here and there. Then the school, I was so shocked one day. I just came into the class and I saw a missed call and I picked up. I couldn't identify the person. Then I sent an SMS. The person now, replied and was like, I'd like to see you. I want to have a meeting with you. And of course, I asked her the address and she sent from the address. And I discovered that it was actually a new school in town, the owner of the school. And you know what? She said she wanted to see me. Of course, I booked an appointment. We met. And when we got there, she said, I want you in our organization. And I said, excuse me. And she said, yes, I've heard so much about you. I need you. I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I just can't just leave where I am, to just follow you. And she said, no, state your offer, state your price. And I laughed. When I laughed, I told her, I said, I'm sorry, I don't think you can pay me. And she said, excuse me. I said, yes, you can't pay me. And she said, okay, can I know what exactly your boss is paying you? I said, I'm sorry, you cannot pay me. She said, okay, I'm going to give you double the salary. I said, I'm sorry, I still don't want the money. I said, I'm also a staff somewhere. So you you know, you are just a new school. I don't know you. I've never heard anything about you, and you just want to come and uproot me from where I'm rooted. It's not possible. It's not possible. And she kept telling me, okay, we'll try and see. And you know, constantly this woman will be sending me messages telling me that she won't give up on me, that she still wants me in her school. And you know, lo and behold, I discovered it.
I'm here by myself. Okay, I hope they come back soon. Okay,
I wanted
hope
to
they come back soon. Who's coming?
I'm here. You can see me.
Oh yeah. Okay, she's out. Okay, for me,
yes, I wanted it to be two of you for a while. I was listening, but she's been kicked out. Sadly. So, do you collaborate with your head of school? Are there other things over and beyond? Because after 10 years, you become an asset to the school. I can't have a chair for 10 years, and I want her to go, except if she's going somewhere else. Like the teachers that I had here, that was here for 7 years, she moved to the UK. I won't stop her from that. Even though her visa letter, I was part of it. I will not stop her from that opportunity. We had an administrator as well, Chisom, who has also moved to the UK. I can't stop those sort of opportunities. I wouldn't even want to be part of stopping. These are greener pastures. We know what our Nigeria can be like. So, but then, Tonya has left. She's in the UK, but she came for her sister's wedding. She still invited me. When I came for the sister's wedding, they still put me right in front, you know, served us as if we were, you know, in fact, we are the parents of the bride and the groom. The treatment was excellent. You know what I'm saying? Even the first time she left, when the children were going to her class that she left, I'm going to graduate. She planned the graduation from the UK. As in from the, why didn't I even invite her? She planned the graduation from the UK. She said, this is what my children will wear, this is what this one likes, this is what that one likes, this is the music they should listen to for this part, for that part. You know what I'm saying? She was like, it was just too much. When she came this December for the wedding, every child in her class, she bought something for all of them. The parents were like, I'm doing from, and she used to even do Zoom to say hello to them. When she was going, she was saying, oh, that she has the job she's doing now, she works with the NHS, and she has 1 day off, and she would like to be teaching virtually from. I said, no. It's okay. You know, you really have to just go and fly. Don't use your spare time of your extra day. There's a reason why it's an extra day for you to rest. Don't use it for report. But the heart is there. Do you know what I'm saying? She bought clothes for me when she came. Even I still have stuff like all those little things that I like. She bought it for me. Totally wrong, no, but she knows all those things I like. She bought it. So it must be the person. From what I'm hearing, it's the person. I don't think, you know, and one thing she said, I can remember when she was here, Lepore School is in Ikoyi. She used to live somewhere very, very far away, towards that satellite town. It was like you used to use a canoe to get to school or something like that, boat. She lived very, very far away. And so she used to get here very early. And after a while, I felt somehow, and I said to her, I said, I'm not sending you away from this school, but I worry about the stress you used to get here and leave. And after a while, that Apapa traffic started, and then there was danger on the road and everything. So she had to get a bike. We had to pay for that bike every morning, a dedicated bike person to carry her from the house to wherever to make sure that she's safe, because standing on the road or whatever was dangerous. But Tony kept coming. She said she had already settled with God that this is the only school that she's going to work.
Yeah, she's going to work.
And I couldn't believe that she did such a good job. The parents know her and that kind of thing. Even when it wasn't conducive, as in, you know, the distance, everything, she just continued. And she would come happily. You would think she was always the first person to get to school. And you would think, you know, she would, as placement to be made up, she wasn't looking stressed. She was very fashionable. She was a makeup artist on the side. You know, she was very, very, you know, so it must be the person, Noye.
Yeah.
It must be the person. Because if you have a school that you can stay for 10 years, and some people will come, they can't even stay for 3 months in that same environment. It's the person.
It's the person from day one. It's the person. For me, I was even saying to someone that if I have to leave now, honestly, it may have to be for somewhere else, maybe traveling out of Nigeria or having maybe one international offer, something big, really, honestly, for me. Something big. It has to be big for me to leave now at
because
this level.
Even the lady won't even want you to go. She's like, we die here. You know You're not going anywhere.
For me, it
You're
has
not
to be
going
big,
anywhere.
really big, like very big. Or maybe I have to just, yeah, it has to be something big. But for me, it has to be something big, something positive, not from the position or perspective of grudges, right? But because I've already played my cards very well, there are times where I have to walk into her office to express myself, to tell her some of the challenges that I had. There was a time that because of security reasons, after the NSAS issue, I had to walk into her office to say very formally, that's the kind of person that I am. I did her a formal letter, mailed her, copied my line manager and all of that, very professional. And then she invited me for a meeting. You know, I walked into her office. She said, "Oh, I've seen your letter, but I'd like us to talk because the relationship we have now has gone beyond this letter." But she was still surprised that I was very professional with her. Like I had to do her an email, very professional, copy the people I needed to copy. And then I explained my situation to her. And then she said, "Okay, so what do you want?" Okay, so I decided to mail her what I wanted. And then she replied me, because she said, "Okay, if we have to be professional," she replied me professionally to say, "This is what we can do for you. Okay, take the days that you want to take off." And for me, I was like, wow, my husband was like, "This your mother, don't turn to your mama." Do you understand? Like, but I said, see, I know how to get into the hearts of people, except if you're not a human being, then do you understand? Except if you're no longer a human being. But I know how to over professional
familiarity
reason. Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah,
that familiarity.
You know, especially there's one thing Yoruba people do it a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Now, you know that kind of thing. They do that thing. Yoruba people do it. So nobody can really say I'm being tribalistic because you check my name out, but check my last name. I married a Yoruba man, so you can't really say I'm being tribalistic. But Yoruba people do that thing where they are over familiar with you. You know, at some point I was thinking, let me not be discriminating against the Yoruba people because I don't really want them to work here. Number one, H factor. Number two, this it's wrong guy now. I don't like it because I think it easily erodes the professional line. So if you've worked there for 10 years, how have you maintained the professionalism to the point where you're writing a letter instead of going to our office? No, I can't be coming 3 days, 5 days a week. This answer, you want them to keep me on the road? It's only 3 days I can make. You know that kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know, how does professionalism continue? Have you crossed that line?
For me, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So for me, I'd like to tell teachers that don't take anyone for granted. Don't say that because this person is kind-hearted or this person is nice. Don't even use that as an opportunity to take the person for granted, right? So there are times even when I knock on her door, she sends for me, and if I knock on her door and then she says she has to tell me to come in. Sometimes when I come in, I just stand because that's the right thing to do. I just stand, and when she says, "Sit, Mrs. Balogun," I stand, I just say sit. That's when I sit. I still do that. In fact, I did it up until yesterday, Friday, when she invited me to her office. And most times when I come in, she says very nicely, "Please sit, Mrs. Balogun," and then I sit. And then if I'm at her door, if her door is open, and I'm at her door, and I'll just stand. Oh, she said, come in. I always let her know that, see, I am not taking the fact that you are my director and I've had a good relationship. I'm not taking that for granted. And then I also like to do that to my teachers, that don't take Mrs. Balogun for granted because she understands you. Mrs. Balogun now. I said, see, be very professional. It's a job.
I hate that thing. I hate it so much. I hate that. Just be professional. Just leave out
now. You know you're a nice person now. You know all of this.
And you know the bad part of this thing is that these children, they just pick it up immediately. They pick it up. That's the first thing. They begin to pick it up. I remember last year, we were preparing for our Christmas party. So the children were told from Wednesday down till the event that they were free to come to school with their muftis. So I discovered there was a particular teacher who dressed and she tucked in a part of her shirt in her skirt. Then a few weeks later, another person came in. She wore a top and she tucked in just a piece of that top into her pair of trousers. Then while we're preparing, having a mock rehearsals in school, I noticed a high school girl who dressed like that and also tucked in a part of her shirt there. And I called her, I said,
they've shown them the example.
Of course, I told her, I said, please come. She came. Miss Lucy, good morning. I said, good morning. You're so beautiful. Oh, thank you very much. I said, but you have to look very decent. As I was talking, I was, removing that part of her shirt. I pulled it and she was looking, smiling. And she was about saying, but. I said, but you've seen it in some teachers. And she just looked, she smiled. Then I remember after work that day, I had to send a message to a group staff platform. I said, please, dear female teachers, be mindful the way you dress, your appearance, because you're also like a model to, the upcoming ones. You may not exactly know, but one day they may make a reference at home to say, oh, Miss Lucy dressed like that. That's how she appears. That's how she looks. That's how she does her things. So everybody wants to do like that. And they were like, Miss Lucy, how? I said, I don't know, but there's a particular child who dressed like about 2 of our teachers. A teacher started it. She wears skirts. Then the other one came again. She wore a pair of trousers and did that. Then the third appearance was now a high school student, who picked it up. Because perhaps she's admiring these teachers and she's like, wow, they look good. So it was free time to put on mufti. And she came to school like that and she talked into us. She was having a good time. And I had to tell her why she needs to look decent at all times. And, after a while, we now became friends. So sometimes we model some kind of attitudes and also unknowingly. Like that now, you see a child. I remember when I traveled with my dad, I wasn't around. A particular minder in the crèche told the child, if you don't eat your food, I'm going to fling you out of the window. Wow. And I got a call. Honestly, I got a call while I was there. And the mom, one of my friends, my colleague, now said, Miss Lucy, do you know what happened? Nico got home and everybody in the house, if nobody eats in the house, you tell the person, if you don't eat your food, I'll fling you out of the window. I'll fling you out of the window. Yes. Yeah. And I laughed. I called him immediately. I said, something was wrong. And, so they pick up those things when you think it's just nothing. It's nothing. Let's do it now. Before you know, the child will say, stop crying now. I want to be now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've done the hour, so we need to round up. We've done the hour, so thank you.
I wish we can have the session again.
No problem. We can always fit something in. There was Ngozi has also done 10 years, and I should actually have invited Toyin, my own friend. I went to the UK as well. I forgot about that, so we can always do that again. But before you leave, can you tell us your last word? Because we are here, we're not just having this talk. This is going to remain on YouTube. It's for the best interest of the Nigerian child. That's always what I say. So, and these teachers, we need good teachers. Many have left the sectors. Many are coming into the sector. What would you say to them regarding being an excellent teacher, regarding having this staying power? What would be your last word in just maybe a minute so that we can round up and not make the video too extensive?
All right. Dear teachers, from day one, plan to be a professional teacher. That's number one. Number two, try as much as you can to work with the people that have employed you and the people that are in the school. The teachers who want to leave because of 5,000 naira to another school, you don't know what the grass looks like on the other side of the divide. And if you don't water your own grass, believe me, it will not be green anymore. So please just have a positive mindset towards the people that you're working with. I think that's what I'm just going to say to every teacher. Be positive.
Right.
And what would you say to those teachers that say, what do you tell them when they say you've been there for 10 years, God forbid, you'll be mumu, that kind of thing? What do you have to say to those ones?
What I say to some of them is that, see, you don't even understand what you're saying. You don't even understand what you're doing. I'm the one who understands why I'm here, because I do not see myself moving from one school to the other. I do not know the kind of person that I'm going to meet on the other side of the divide, right? So I say to them that you don't understand why I'm doing this. I wish you do, but first of all, it starts with me. It's about me. It has to do with me. If I'm in a place, I have to make sure that I'm comfortable in that place, and then I grow in that place. And that's what's important for me. And I let them know that it's about me. It's about me being in that organization.
They will say, what if somebody wants to give you double your salary?
Double my salary? Are you going to give me double my stress? See, if I get, from my experience now, I've come to understand that if you're going to give me double my salary, it may just be a bait to bring me into your school. And at the end of the day, I've seen some teachers who have gone to schools like that. They slash that salary again, and then you're stuck. and then they make your life so
I
miserable.
want to do that too. She left. We
Yeah.
just started the school then, many years ago, 2013. She left in 2013. She wanted 200,000 naira salary in 2013. We just started the school. The school was at like a year plus then. 200,000. How am I going to find this? Anyway, she left to another school, and apparently they didn't pay that money. She now started doing lesson teacher. Started calling the parents in the school here to want to do lesson with them. It was so sad.
For
Anyway.
me, if people need me in their schools, for me, I'm just going to be very positive. I can come to your school to help. That's collaboration to help.
Thank you.
And
God bless you.
you can pay.
Yes,
Yeah, you have to
yes,
pay me.
yes.
Instead of me moving to
Yes.
your school and sitting on a desk and starting all over again, because in Nigeria, if you move to another school, regardless of your experience and qualification, they're going to start it from the beginning. Most times,
You have to learn the culture and the
you need to
ways.
start and understand their situation. But if it's a collaboration thing, if you need me to come and do handwriting, to speak to your children, to do what I do, or teach, or do something for your
Train the
school,
teachers.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
but do something for your school. Oh, that's positive. That's good. Then I see that school or that school owner is a positive person who wants somebody to come and maybe like imbibe what the person has learned in their own school. For me, that's being positive. That's understandable. I can do that. In fact, I can do for free. In my children's schools, I've had to teach some people. I've done that for free. But if you want me to move and come and teach you, then no, I get side hustles now. Let me face my side hustles too.
So let's face this our own side hustle. So Lucy, what will be your last words? Thank you so much. I'm not here for that one.
All
Now,
right, thank you. Thank you very
just
much.
an
Ma'am.
excellent teacher. You lead the excellent teacher by name and by attitude. So that's wonderful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
As well. What
To
will be
me,
your last word?
my parting words to my fellow teachers, my friends, my colleagues is just to let them know that teaching is not just a passion. You remember what you said last time, that passion is never enough. But to me, I think teaching is also a mission. I remember somebody saying that teachers on a mission, children on a mission. So you know that it's not just, besides passion, you are on a mission to impact, you're on a mission to, to also add value and also to change the narrative. So it's not just, I'm just there teaching. No, it's not necessarily all about the mission, passion, but it's all about the mission. Because if you understand the mission, you'll be able to run the rest alone, just like the Bible puts it. So you have to run. It's been a lovely time.
Thank you, ladies. You guys are
Thank
wonderful.
you.
And you are indeed the real deal.
You have to run.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are indeed the real deal. Thank you for always staying till the end. God bless you. And I'm sure we will do it again, just like Lucy has requested. I'm not doing that because I've told you ages ago. So at least we've done the first one. So thank you so much. To many more meetings. Keep shining this light because we need great educators in Nigeria. We don't have enough. We don't have enough, and we need so much more. So God bless you. Keep on being great. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you too. I love you, Huggy.
Bye.
Bye.